A man stands alone in the center circle. 40,000 people scream his name, and he has never been more afraid. He is the greatest scorer the game has ever produced. He has won everything a man can win and bought everything a man can buy. And tonight, at 38 years old, in a World Cup that was supposed to be his final coronation, he did not score. Again, the cameras find his face, and for half a second before the mask returns, you see it. Not anger, not disappointment. Something older than both. The look of a king who has begun to suspect that the throne was never his, that he was only ever sitting on it. This is not a video about football. This is a video about the most dangerous thing a man can build. A life so magnificent that he can no longer afford to stop living it. This is the tragedy of the man who cannot walk away. Chapter 1. Two Kings at Dusk. In the summer of 2026, two of the oldest men on the pitch were also two of the most important. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, both pushing 40, both still here, still chasing, in a tournament built for men half their age. The press called it a miracle. How are the old men still doing this? And it was a miracle, in the way that everything is a miracle right up until the moment it isn't. But watch them closely and you are watching two different answers to the same question. The question every man eventually has to face, whether he is a striker or a salesman or a father at the dinner table. What do I do when the thing that made me great begins to leave me? Messi, by 2026, had made a quiet peace. He still played like a magician, but you could feel the difference. He was playing for the joy of it now, for the love of the thing itself. He had stopped trying to prove he was immortal. He had started trying to enjoy being mortal. Ronaldo never learned that lesson. Ronaldo could not learn it, because Ronaldo had built something Messi never built, and that something would not let him go. When Portugal drew with DR Congo and Ronaldo did not score, he did not look like a man who had a bad night at work. He looked like a man watching a part of himself die in front of a live audience, and he could not stop. Not because the world demanded it, because he did. To understand why, we have to leave the stadium. We have to go back 500 years to a broke, exiled Italian civil servant writing the most honest book ever written about power. Chapter 2. Virtù and Fortuna. Niccolò Machiavelli was a man who understood greatness because he had stood next to it and then lost it. He had served the Republic of Florence, advised princes, watched empires rise and rot, and then he was arrested, tortured, and thrown out of the only life he knew. He wrote his masterpiece, The Prince, as a broken man trying to claw his way back to relevance. Sit with that. The most clear-eyed book about success in human history was written by someone who had just spectacularly failed. There is a lesson there, and we will return to it. Machiavelli divided every human life into two forces. The first he called virtù, and do not hear the English word virtue. He did not mean being good. He meant force of self, your skill, your will, your discipline, your capacity to bend the world to your design. Virtù is everything inside a man that he himself controls. The second force he called fortuna, fortune, luck, timing, your body, your age, the river of circumstance that flows whether you will it or not. Machiavelli said something brutal about her, that fortuna governs roughly half of everything that happens to us, and the other half she leaves in our hands. Now here is the part the motivational crowd never tells you. Machiavelli said that the man of great virtù, the man of overwhelming will, wins while fortuna allows it. A river can be dammed, but only in fair weather. When the flood finally comes, it does not matter how well you built. The water takes the walls. Cristiano Ronaldo is the most perfect example of pure virtù the modern world has ever produced. He was not the most gifted, Messi was more gifted. Ronaldo built himself, the body, the leap, the relentless, obsessive, almost frightening discipline. He dammed the river with his bare hands and held back time longer than any man had a right to. But virtù has an enemy that no amount of discipline can defeat, and her name is time. Time is the one flood you cannot outtrain. And the tragedy of the man of great will is that he is always the last to believe the water is rising. Chapter 3. Reputation is a cage. Here is where Machiavelli becomes dangerous, because he understood that for a prince, reputation is not decoration. Reputation is power. The image of strength is itself a weapon, sometimes a more powerful weapon than strength itself. A prince who seems invincible rules men who would defeat an equal. Ronaldo understood this in his bones, long before he could have named it. He did not just become a great footballer, he became a brand, a religion, a mythology, the celebration, the physique, the 3 letters and the number. He built a cathedral of image around himself, and 1 billion people came to worship in it. But Machiavelli warns of a trap inside this exact strategy, and it is the most important thing in this entire video, so listen. The reputation you build to serve you will eventually demand to be served. When you are ordinary, you are allowed to be ordinary. When you have spent 20 years convincing the world that you are a god, you are no longer permitted to be a man. The cathedral does not care that you are tired. The worshippers do not want to see you age. The myth you authored now writes you. This is why Ronaldo cannot have an average game in peace. A normal striker who doesn't score has a bad night. Ronaldo, who doesn't score, has a crisis of faith for himself and for everyone watching. He built a self that is only allowed to be the best, and the cruelty of that is simple. A man who is only allowed to be the best has nowhere left to stand the moment he is merely very good. He is not trapped by his fans. He is not trapped by the media. He is trapped by the most magnificent prison ever constructed, the one he built himself, brick by brick, with his own astonishing will. Every record he chased made the walls higher. Every miracle made the next one more compulsory. You think you are accumulating freedom. You are accumulating obligation. That is the part nobody warns you about. Chapter 4. The man who cannot stop. So ask the obvious question. Why doesn't he just stop? He has the money. He has the trophies. He has the records. He has earned 10 times over the right to walk into the sunset and never kick another ball. And the answer is the darkest thing in this story. He doesn't stop because he doesn't know who he is if he stops. For most of us, our achievements sit alongside our identity. They are things we did. For a certain kind of great man, the achievement becomes the identity. There is no Cristiano underneath the goals. The goals are not what he does. The goals are what he is. Take them away and there is no man left standing in the rubble. Only the terrifying silence of a person who has never been allowed to find out who he was without the thing. This is the bargain at the heart of all-consuming ambition, and almost no one reads the fine print before they sign. The hunger that builds the empire is the same hunger that will not let you live in it. The drive that made you exceptional cannot be switched off when exceptional is no longer available, so it turns inward. It starts to eat the man who fed it. Watch him after a missed chance now. That is not a competitor who wants to win. That is a man fighting for his own existence, in real time, in front of the world. Because to him, the difference between scoring and not scoring is the difference between being and not being. And here is the provocation. Here is the thing I want you to sit with, because it is not really about Ronaldo at all. You have a version of this. Every man does. Maybe it is a job that you cannot let go of because you do not know who you are without the title. Maybe it is being the strong one, the provider, the person everyone leans on, a role so total that you have forgotten there is a person underneath it. who is also allowed to be tired, to be afraid, to be finished with something. Maybe it is a younger self, a peak, an image of the man you were at 25, that you are still secretly killing yourself to be at 45. Ronaldo is just the most visible man on earth, living out the most common male tragedy there is, the inability to let a former self die so that a new self can live. Chapter 5. Change with the times or fall. Now we return to where we started, to the quote on the black screen, Machiavelli's deepest, most uncomfortable insight about success. Whoever wishes to be constantly successful must change his conduct with the times. He observed something across decades of watching powerful men rise and collapse. The man who succeeds is not the man with one perfect strategy. It is the man who adapts, who reads the season he is in, and becomes the version of himself that season requires. And the man who falls, almost always, is not the weak man. It is the strong man who keeps using the strategy that made him great, long after the times have changed beneath his feet. This is the deepest layer of the tragedy. The very thing that made Ronaldo immortal, that iron, unbending, never change, never stop will, is now the thing destroying him. The discipline that let him conquer his 20s is precisely what stops him from gracefully inhabiting his 40s. He is fighting age with the only weapon he has ever known, and it is the one weapon that age is immune to. Machiavelli would not have called Ronaldo weak, he would have called him rigid. And to Machiavelli, in the long run, rigidity and weakness lead to the same grave. Contrast the lion and the fox, Machiavelli's two animals of power. The lion is force, strength, dominance, the frontal assault. Ronaldo is the purest lion the game has ever seen, but Machiavelli said a prince must also be a fox, cunning, adaptive, willing to change shape, to retreat, to choose his ground. The lion cannot see the trap. The fox cannot fight off the wolves. You need both. The man who is only a lion wins everything, right up until the moment that strength alone is no longer enough. And then he stands there roaring, swinging at a thing that cannot be beaten with strength, unable to comprehend why the world stopped obeying him. A wiser man learns to become the fox as the lion fades, to win with mind what he can no longer win with body. Messi became the fox. Ronaldo stayed the lion, and one of them is going to suffer far more for it. Chapter 6. The dignity of the exit. So what is the answer? Is the lesson give up, know your place, accept decline? No, that is the coward's misreading, and it is beneath us. The lesson is harder than that. There is a thing the ancients understood that we have completely forgotten, that there is a skill to leaving, that the exit is not the absence of greatness. The exit can be the greatest act of all. A king who clings to the throne until he is dragged from it dies a smaller man than the king who steps down at the height of his powers and hands the crown over with steady hands. To walk away while you are still strong is not surrender. It is the final, hardest victory of virtue, the will turned against itself, the discipline used not to conquer one more thing but to release everything. Most men cannot do it. It requires a kind of courage that winning never demanded of them, the courage to be ordinary, the courage to discover whether there was ever a man beneath the achievements, and to find out that there was, and that he was enough. Ronaldo may never find that courage. Most great men don't. They go down swinging at the dark, and we are taught to admire it, and there is something admirable in it. But there is also something unbearably sad. A man who conquered the whole world and never once learned how to put it down. So here is the question I want to leave you with. Not about him, about you. What is the thing you cannot stop doing? not because you love it, but because you are afraid of who you would be without it. What former self are you still killing yourself to keep alive? What crown are you clutching that has started to feel less like a glory and more like a weight you are no longer allowed to set down? Machiavelli wrote his greatest work after he lost everything, after the floods took his walls, stripped of his power, his title, his relevance, broken and exiled and finished. He became, in that ruin, more immortal than any prince he ever served, because he finally understood the one thing his whole life of ambition had hidden from him, that a man is not what he holds. A man is what remains when everything he holds is taken away. Cristiano Ronaldo gave us 20 years of the lion. One day, whether he chooses it or it is chosen for him, the roar will stop. And the only question that will matter, the only question that ever mattered, is the one he has spent his entire magnificent life refusing to ask. Who is there when the crowd goes home? Who is there in the silence? Who are you?